Global War 36 enthusiast here with Operation No Time to Die, turn 18.4, the Commonwealth. It is January 1945. First thing I want to talk about is this move that Knights Templar made with his 9 motorized infantry and 9 advanced artillery. Basically, it's kind of the heart of his ability to project power. And right now, Knights Templar has 1 victory point because he does hold Moscow. If he's trying to get more victory points, he may be hopefully one day planning to eventually get his territories back and bring these units down into, say, either the Middle East and go after Eastern Egypt or towards the FEC and Calcutta. So here in turn 18, he moved from Moscow down to Western Kazakhstan. And then in turn 19, he could get into Afghanistan. In turn 20, he could get into the Punjab. And in turn 21, he could take 3 different territories. So I have to start planning and responding for that because I can only churn out like 4 infantry per turn with the FEC. So, you know, that I'm going to need several turns. That'd be 12 infantry plus whatever I can shuttle over from Burma and Siam, etc. So that's what I wanted to point out. It is January 1945, and I'm going to start off with 2 tech rolls. One will be for long-range aircraft, and one will be for radar. Okay, so on my roll for long-range aircraft, I fail with a 5. But on my roll for radar, I succeed with a 10. So we go up to stage 3 on radar. Radar would prove phenomenally helpful for me because I have so many air bases, and if I could get, and I've got a lot of aircraft too, if I could get them all just to fly out of one air base, I could stop buying so many air bases. Okay, let's go to purchases. This is not optimal. Okay, so let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Well, that's not going to let you see the bottom of the purchases. Okay, for Britain, I have 54 IPPs to spend. I'm going to get 2 militia for 4, a fighter for 10, that's 14, 1 anti-aircraft artillery for 4, that's 18, 2 airborne infantry for 6, that's 24, 2 infantry for 6, that's 30, 2 colonial infantry for 8, that's 38, 1 tank destroyer for 5, that's 43. I'm going to begin construction of an air base in Astoria, Navarre for 2, that's 45, and I'm going to complete construction of the air base I started last turn in Astoria, Navarre for 2, that's 47. I'm going to upgrade the minor port in Leon, Castile to a major port for 3, that's 50. And I'm going to complete construction of the fortification in Istanbul for 4, that's 54. FEC purchases. I'm going to upgrade a militia for 2. I'm going to purchase an airborne infantry for 3. Now, I've got a question about that. You know, I bought 2 airborne infantry with the British, and now I'm buying 1 with the FEC. I don't see anywhere that says that I have to share my pool as far as the limitation of 2 airborne infantry or 2 Marines. I think I can do that, but if I can't, then I'll have this infantry in Far East Command be, or have that airborne infantry just be a regular infantry. And I'm going to get 2 Gurkhas for 8. So I had 2 plus 3, that's 5, plus 8, 13. I spent it all. Anzac, I have 11 IPPs to spend. Same thing, I'll have to change my purchases. I do want an airborne infantry with the Anzac, but I might change the British to infantry if I'm not allowed to purchase this many airborne infantry this turn. That's 3, and then I'm going to lend-lease a naval transport to the KMT for 6. That totals 9. I'm going to save 2 IPP. Combat movement. Okay, let's go over here to the to the Pacific a little bit. Having some trouble swiveling. Okay, let's tighten in on this British coastal here. This coastal submarine is going to move to and try to reestablish the blockade that Boston Bob punctured. So, Boston Bruce, sorry Bruce. One of the hazards of recording this so late at night. 1, 2, I'm going to go up here to the Sea Zone 65, and I'm going to do convoy rating there. I was inspired by the American convoy sub. Hopefully I can do 5 points of damage too. I will move 7 infantry. Let's swivel over here to our attempt to evolve the KMT to a major power this turn. Exciting. This force here is going to move into Shenxi and try to get the KMT 2 more points because they have 11. They have 1 for Hainan, 2 for Hong Kong, that's 3, 2 for Kwangtung, that's 5. Hunan, Shantung, and Nanking are all 2, so that's 11 total. If I can take over Shenxi with the FEC and give it over to the KMT, then that will elevate them to a major power. So that force that's moving in is 7 infantry, 6 Gurkhas, 4 artillery, and 2 anti-aircraft artillery. Also, this cavalry from Kwai Chau is going to go 1-2 and join the fight. Okay, now the important, well, the stressful one that I'm taking a risk on. Everything else is pretty much fait accompli. But there's this attack here. I'm going to take this transport that was carrying the mountain infantry and the marine, and it's going to go 1-2 over to Sumatra. And it's going to drop off in an amphibious assault against this coastal gun. Now, this battle is too far away for the kamikazes to be involved. But this coastal gun is going to get 1 shot. I don't have any bombardment ships that can take the hits. So that one coastal gun is going to get 1 shot at 3 at that naval transport. Got a 25% chance it'll be devastating if he hits those 2. And it's such an important role that I'm going to do it on PBE when we get to that time. Then also, they're down in Australia. I have 2 air transports with 2 airborne infantry, and they are going to get picked up and flown 1, 2, 3, 4 onto Sumatra. So do an airborne assault there, and those guys will have a 2 range to get back home. Similarly, this jet fighter will go 1-2, and this fighter will go 1-2 onto Sumatra. They will also have 2 to get back home. Okay. 2 infantry. Okay, so this is over here. Now we have to switch over to southern Iran. 2 infantry from here are going to move over to Iraq and attack that Russian airborne. Then coming from northern Algeria, this medium bomber is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and hit Iraq, and that will have a 2 to return home. All right, now let's go over to Sea Zone 79, which is the Balearic Islands from last time. Every naval unit that's in Sea Zone 49, every Commonwealth naval unit that's in Sea Zone 49 is going to move over to Sea Zone 52. So that includes these 3 naval transports. They're going to pick up all the units that are on the Balearic Islands, which is 3 infantry, 2 medium tanks or armor, and an anti-aircraft artillery. They're going to carry them over here to 52. 2 infantry are going to drop off in Anatolia. 1 infantry and 2 medium armor are going to drop off in Istanbul. So I believe that will get me to 6 British infantry, 4 French infantry, 2 artillery, 2 medium armor, 1 militia, and 1 cavalry in Istanbul. And that's going to be behind a fortification. I hope that will prove to be sufficient to hold him off, but I don't know. Okay, so I've got these 2 infantry here, and then I'm going to do a bombardment into there as well. Then the last attack for the British is up here in Denmark. You can see there's nothing in Denmark. I've got a strategic bomber with an airborne infantry in London. That's going to take off. It's basically going to be a walk-on. So that is going to put Great Britain up 1, and it'll knock Germany down 1. And that is the end of my combat movement. Oh, I am doing, Anzac's going to do a coastal submarine, or coastal convoy raiding in C-Zone 122. So I've got a couple convoy raids. Let's get the camera set up for some combat. I wanted to point out the movement of the Russian forces. So that's why I moved this out of the way. All right. Let's get the camera teed up there. Zoom in a bit. I think that is optimal. Let's hope that holds steady there. Okay. Convoy raiding in C-Zone 65. So this is the one where I have the coastal submarine off the volcano islands. Red is the attacker, white is the defender. I get 1 to add 1. It doesn't matter. I fail. Okay, so that doesn't do any damage. Then the next battle is the Shensi attack to try to evolve the KMT. So I have 4 artillery. It's attacking into mountains, so I'm knocked down 1 to a 2. I've got 4 at 2. These are first strikes. And I miss. This is the time to have bad luck. As long as I dodge that coastal, I will be delighted. Then I have 7 infantry at 2 and 2 Gurkhas at 2. So I have 4 artillery. Of my 6 Gurkhas, 2 of them aren't boosted and 4 of them will get boosted. So I have 9 at 2. Here's my 9 at 2 for my infantry attack. And I got 2 hits. All right, and then we've got the 4 Gurkhas at 3, because they get boosted up. Okay, so 4 hits thus far. Let's keep track of that over here. Oh, nope, I think I did get... Oh boy, this is why I should have kept track of... I even kept it over here for first strikes to see if I had hit with my artillery. I cannot remember if I did hit with my artillery, so I'll have to go back and add that if I did get a hit. I think I missed completely with my artillery. So I got 4 hits on that first round of combat. right, now his retaliatory strikes. He has 2 militia that are defending at 2. No, that's wrong. He has 6 militia that are defending at 2. I mixed up my infantry and my militia count. 2, 4, 6. Okay, so he's got 6 at 2 for militia. And he missed. And then he's got 2 at 4 for his infantry. And he hit once. Okay, so I hit 4 times, he hit once. So he is going to drop down to just 2 militia. And I am going to I'm going to have to lose one of my infantry, so I'm going to drop down to 6 infantry. I could lose my cavalry. God, I have totally bollocksed this up, haven't I? Because I was attacking into mountain, and I put down that I was attacking at 2 with my infantry, but I was only attacking at 1. Oh man, that is really bad, because my Gurkhas were attacking at 2 there in Shensi, but I don't know how many hits I am going to have on that. I'm going to have to go back. I'm going to have to undo that by PBE, because I shouldn't have lumped in my... If I'd done it separately, then we could have teased that apart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go forward as if... I think I got 2 hits with the 7, or with the 9 at 2, so I'll have to try to tease out, probably, and I'm pretty sure they were 2s. I'm going to act as if I only got 3 hits. We'll redo it by PBE, and I apologize to my viewers for my mass confusion. Should have done a better job preparing this. Okay, so we'll have another round of combat. I'm going to choose to take one of my infantry, so I'm down to 6 infantry with the British, and those guys are attacking at 1, not at 2. It's the Gurkhas that were at 2. So we'll roll them separately this time. Six at 1. 2, 4, 6. That's 1 hit. All right. And then we've got the 2 Gurkhas that are at 2. These are the non-boosted Gurkhas. And I think I can also lump in my 4 artillery. 2, 4, 6. Here's 6 at 2. Oh, and I've got that cavalry too. 7 at 2. I think I forgot to roll my cavalry last time. I totally hosed this up. Complete mess. And then I've got the 4 that are at 3, which are my Gurkhas. One hit. Okay, so I only hit 2 times. Now it's his shot. He has 3, I'm guessing. I'm going to have to totally reconstruct this on PBE. But 3 militia is my best guess of how many he has, and these are at 2. And then he's got 2 infantry at 4. He got a hit. Okay, so I got 2 hits, he got 1 hit. So now he's down to 1 militia, 1 infantry, and I am down to 5 British infantry. Although I totally hosed this up, This battle was inevitable, really. And so it's just a matter of how many infantry I lose. When I go back, I'll tease out which one of the infantry hits were Gurkhas and which ones were not. And then he might end up getting a couple extra shots with Militia that didn't die. Okay, next round. This is the third round. So I have now 5 infantry that are attacking at 1. These are the non-boosted infantry. That's 1 hit. Boy, it's really interesting that my infantry has been so lucky and his infantry has not. All right, and then I've got a cavalry. I have 2 non-boosted Gurkhas, and I have 4 artillery. 2, 4, 6, 7 at 2. 2, 4. Yeah, that's a miss. Everything missed. Okay. And then I've got the, let's see, 4 at 3. The boosted Gurkhas are the 4 at 3. 1 hit. So I got 2 hits total. And he has 1 at 4, his Militia. And he's got 2, that was 1 at 2, I mean, and then 2 at 4. That's his infantry. He got a hit. Okay. So he's down to 1 infantry. I'm down to 4 infantry. Okay. So, 4 at 1. Let's see if my infantry can continue to be so incredibly consistent getting hits. Nope. Well, I was definitely way overdue. I only need 1 more hit. Let's do that. Well, but it could turn out to be a fiasco. Let's do the 3 Gurkhas at 3. These are the boosted Gurkhas. They missed. All right. Now let's see. I've got the cavalry, the 4 artillery, and the 2 unboosted Gurkhas. 2, 4, 6, 7, and these are all at 2. The 1 final hit that I needed, okay? And he has 1 at 4 for his final retaliatory strike. Almost. Okay, so I took it. I might have to go back and figure it out. What I think I've taken it with is 4 infantry, 6 Gurkhas, 4 artillery, 1, 2 anti-aircraft, and 1 cavalry. And that will evolve the KMT to a major power. I don't know exactly if how many infantry of mine died. I'll go back and fix that, but for sure that is going to push up KMT2 and drop CCP2. Let's see if I can do a better job going forward here. All right, this is the big battle, Sumatra. Let's see the all-important coastal artillery PBE generation. Let's see what it is. Don't want a 1, 2, or 3. I've got a 75% chance. And it's a 7! Yes! Okay. So, I was very worried about that. I think I would still have won the battle, but it's really nice to have 2 extra casualties, and it's a lot of money to lose all that for that coastal gun. So, okay, so he missed with his coastal artillery, but he has 2 fortification strikes. These guys are at 5. And I have to take the amphibious units first, so 2 at 5 is the first strike. Oh! Okay, so my amphibious units are gone. First I lose the Marines, second I lose the Mountain. I shouldn't have brought the Mountain. That was dumb. Okay, so he got 2 first strikes. All right. Now, next. I have 2 airborne infantry, and they're attacking at 3. Jungle doesn't negatively affect them. Miss. And then I have 1 fighter that's attacking at a 6, and 1 jet fighter that's attacking at an 8. Here's my 1 at 6. Miss. Oh, that hurts. And there's the 1 at 8. Oh my god! This is absolutely devastating. Okay. So, let's see. He has 2 militia. I might have to... I'm in really big trouble here. 2 militia at... Now, he gets boosted, so these are at 4. 2 at 4. Okay, I got lucky there, but I'm probably not going to be lucky on the 2 at 6. Because he's got the 2 infantry, or no, 1 at 6. He's got 1 infantry boosted to a 6. Oh my god. Okay, I got very lucky there. Totally got lucky that the coastal gun missed. That's what I really needed to miss. Okay, so we're gonna try again. No one hit, but the big thing is he doesn't get the boost anymore from that fortification. So I got 2 at 3. Nope, 2 at 2. These are at 2 because the airborne drops down to a 2 on the second round. And then I've got 1 at 6 and 1 at 8. I got a hit there and another hit. So I got 2 hits. Now he has the 2 at 2 because he doesn't get boosted anymore. He's 2 militia. Miss. And then he's got 1 at 4. That's his... miss. Okay, so I've knocked him down to just the infantry. I have 1 at 6. I'm doing my fighter. And 1 at 8. That's my jet fighter hit. Okay, and then he has the 1 at 4. Jesus. Boss and Bruce, I am sorry for your terrible luck. It was my good luck and just absolutely horrendous luck on your part. So I take it with 2 airborne infantry. I was worried I was going to have to take air units as casualties, but I didn't have to. And what that's going to do is raise the Dutch up to, and lower the Japanese down to 32. So the Dutch go up to 4, and the Japanese are at 32. All right. Next is the convoy rating in C-Zone 122. I've just got the Anzac sub. It's a full sub, so I get an add +2. Red is attacker, white is defender. So I do 2 points of damage to Boston Bruce in C-Zone 122. He is at, looks like he's at 44, so now he's down to 42 for Japan. Okay, I've got the Iraq battle. Iraq is in desert. I want to make sure the dice are still on camera. That would be horrendous if I was worried that with my good luck, somehow the camera had been knocked off. And anyway, Iraq. So what we have is 2 infantry attacking at a 1, because it's desert. And I got that medium bomber. Jeez, my amazing luck. Okay, he has a Russian at 2. He's got 1 defending guy at a 2. Again, it misses. Okay, so that was Knights Templar, and that's Iraq. So I go up 2 with Britain, up to 36, and Russia, the USSR goes down to 30. Okay. Next, there's Anatolia, which is a mountain. This is where I'm attacking the Germans. I have 2 battleship bombardments at 4. And I have been due for some bad luck, so it's about time I fail. Because if I don't hit with this, okay, I do hit. But if I didn't, I was in a bad spot because I had 2 at 1. And he would have 1 at 2, so I didn't know how long that battle would go on for. But I do take Anatolia with the British. So the British go up 1 and Germany goes down to 66. Great Britain is currently at 37. That is the end of my combat. Now we'll proceed to non-combat movement. So let's come back here a little bit. Zoom out. All right, we're going to go over here to this fleet carrier that I got lent leased by a very kind ally. Appreciate that, Madman Dan. That carrier is going to move 4. It starts at a major port, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and go to C-Zone 122 with the sub and the transport. So I'm going to land the jet and the fighter are going to land on the carrier in C-Zone 122. Is that even on camera? Sorry about that. Okay, and then the 2 air transports that were there are going to land in British Malaya. And this fighter that's in Western Australia is also going to go to British Malaya. 1, 2, 3, 4. This medium bomber that starts off, you can see that, starts off there in Sydney, will fly to Western Australia. Okay, now let's look at what's going on here in Vietnam. I'm going to rail this Anzac guy to Quang Tung. And 2 infantry from An Nam Tonkin are going to move into Quang Tung. And I also have the Anzac infantry, motorized infantry, and artillery that are there, as well as the KMT Elite Marine. 2 infantry from Burma will move over to Bengal, and 2 infantry from Siam are going to move over to Burma. This cavalry that's in Calcutta will move to Maharashtra. Is that in this camera? Yes, it is. Okay, I think that is my movement in this area. I think I can leave this theater and go over here to what's going on in Iraq. That medium bomber is going to fly back to eastern Egypt. Okay. I'm going to have this cavalry that's in eastern Egypt will move to Transjordan. Now we can switch over to Spain. Okay, so this infantry that's in Catalonia is going to move over to Asturias-Navarre. These 2 Marines and this 1 infantry are going to move over into Asturias-Navarre. Now we can go up to England. Oh, I think you can see my forces there up in C-Zone 10. I have a light carrier, a battleship, a heavy cruiser, and then these 2 transports. This group here is going to pick up these 2 infantry from Scotland, 1 infantry from northern England, and 1 Marine. Oh no, I'll make that the mountain. And we'll move these guys down to C-Zone 33. They'll join the rest of the armada there in C-Zone 33, and then it will drop off 3 infantry and a mountain infantry in Asturias-Navarre. the mountain. It's not in Leon Castile, it's all in Asturias Navarre. I will have to clean this up. It's an absolute disaster. Okay. Now, in that C-Zone 33, one of the naval transports is going to go up, pick up that Marine, and bring him down as well. So, add that guy in there. I'm going to try to give my opponents a summary after I do the French turn. Okay, one naval transport that's in C-Zone 33, it's going to do a strategic naval move and go 1-2 over to C-Zone 25. It'll pick up 2 infantry from London, and it will bring them back and drop them off in Asturias Navarre. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All those guys are in Asturias Navarre. I'm going to have this infantry that's in London move over to British Midlands. I'm going to have a fighter that's in London will fly to Asturias Navarre. I'm going to have one anti-aircraft artillery that's in South African Union will strategic rail move to Transjordan. Sorry that I have a hard time getting that on camera. Okay. I believe we are now ready for placement of units. One militia is going to be placed in Istanbul. And another militia is going to be placed in Aden. Okay, and then in London, I'm going to put a fighter. I'm going to put an AA, an anti-aircraft artillery there. I'm going to put 2 airborne infantry. That brings me up to 4 units that I placed there. And then an infantry. Meanwhile, I'll also put 1 infantry up in northern England. I'm going to place 2 colonial infantry down here in Transjordan. So Transjordan has 2 colonial infantry, a cavalry, and an anti-aircraft gun. I'm going to put my tank destroyer in South African Union. I'm going to place in Asturias Navarre, I'm going to start construction of an airbase and complete construction of the one I did last turn. So I've got 1 under construction and 1 on the map. I'm going to upgrade the minor port that's on the northern coast of Leon Castile is going to become a major port there. And I'm going to build or complete the fortification that is here in Istanbul. Okay, this might be, well, I guess I should do the placement of FEC. Let's do our FEC placement. I have 1 airborne infantry, if that's legal, in Calcutta. I'm going to get 2 Gurkhas in Maharashtra. And I will upgrade 1 militia in Calcutta up to an infantry. In Anzac, in Sydney, I'm going to put a airborne infantry. And then I'm going to take this KMT lend-lease it from Sydney. It'll start in Sydney and it will go to Kwang Tung, and it'll end up right here. Okay, this will probably be a good time for me to go over some of the forces. I know that I totally messed up in Shensi, and I'll have to review that to find out exactly what is the correct number of dead infantry. But right now I have 4 infantry, 6 Gurkhas, 4 artillery, and 2 anti-aircraft artillery, with 1 cavalry as well, is there in Shensi. In Sumatra, I took it with 2 airborne, just barely. The coastal gun and fortification are destroyed. In southern Iran, I have 4 infantry and a Gurkha. In Iraq, I have 2 infantry. In Anatolia, I have 2 infantry. In Transjordan, I have 2 infantry and a cavalry and an anti-aircraft gun. In Istanbul, okay. In Istanbul, I have 2 militia, 6 infantry, 4 French infantry, 4 anti-aircraft artillery, 2 artillery, 2 medium armor, and a cavalry. Let's talk about Asturia Navarre. That is a lot of units. Okay. So I have 14 infantry in Asturia Navarre, because I had 7 there, and then I brought in this turn another 7. Marines. I have 7 Marines, because I had 4 and I brought in 3 more. I have 2 mountain, because I had 1, brought in another 1. So all these guys are gone. I have 4 fighters, 4 British fighters in Asturia Navarre, and 2 medium armor, and 4 anti-aircraft artillery. Okay. The strategic bomber from Denmark flies back and lands in London. I believe that concludes... oh, no, I need to collect income. Okay, collect income. Great Britain is at 37, plus 3 for the Suez, plus 2 for no subs. That gets me up to 42, plus 4 for the Netherlands. All 4 Netherlands is going to go to Great Britain. So let's see, that's 46. I get to roll wartime economy. Let's keep this zoomed. Yeah, that might be good enough. Okay, let's see what I get with wartime economy. I'm at 46 so far. Okay, well, I'll take it because I didn't roll a 1 on the coastal artillery. So I have 48. That is not very impressive. $48 with Great Britain. Let's see what FEC is at. I have FEC at 11, and they get 2 because of Aden and Eastern Egypt, so that's 13 IPP. And then Anzac I have at 9, plus there's no enemy surface ships within 2 zones of Australia, plus I saved 2, so that gets me to 13 as well. And that concludes 18.4. Now we will start Free France's turn. Free France has 8 IPPs to spend. I will purchase 1 Airborne infantry, and I'll save 5. Let's go on to combat movement. I'm just having 2 combats. One will be that submarine up there in C-Zone 14 will convoy raid. But the important one here is Southern Europe, or Southern France. This attack in Southern France is key because usually you can't get Free France strong enough to attack Vichy France. But if you try to attack Vichy France with non-Free French units, for example, you try to attack with Britain or you try to attack with America, instantly Vichy France converts over to align with Germany, and all these pieces would go black. But if Free France attacks, they're involved in an internal civil war, or internal struggle, and Germany cannot intervene. So he can't fly his planes down there to scramble to southern France as long as I'm only using the Free French. So this turn, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up 2 airborne infantry for northern Algeria with these 2 air transports. They're going to fly back there, so I'm just going to leave them there. And they will go up there and airborne drop on southern France. I'm going to bring all my planes. So that's 8 fighters, 3, 2, a jet, and a medium bomber. Plus, I'm going to bring in this infantry and these 2 mountain infantry from Catalonia. So I have 5 ground units and I have 10 aircraft. I mean, if I can count my air transports too, in theory, but I'm not gonna take those as casualties. So those are my 2 combats. Let's set up for the attack. Okay, southern France is clear terrain. There is 1 defending artillery at 3, and it's a first strike, so this is the Vichy French artillery. Miss. All right. I have 8. Now we're doing the air superiority round. So I have 8 at 6. All these turns are buying French fighters. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. 8 at 6. I'd like to get at least 2. And I got perfectly average. I got 4. 4 out of 8. So that's 4 air superiority. He's going to get wiped out, his planes. He gets his 2 planes for the air superiority. Well, I guess I should wait until the defenders round. Okay, I have 1 infantry at a 2 and 2 mountain infantries at 2. So that's 3 at a 2. Miss. And then I have 2 at 3. These are my 2 airborne infantry being dropped. 2 hits. Boy, when it rains, it pours. I'm hot. Very lucky. All right. And then he's got his air superiority round. He's got 2 fighters at a 6. He got a hit, so both were average. I lost 1 fighter, so I only have 7 fighters left with the French. And he lost both his fighters. Well, I'll deal with that in a second. Okay, he also has his 5 infantry at 4. 5 at 4. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. It's getting to the point that I'm starting to feel guilty. Okay, so let's see. I got 6 hits total. I'm sure he's going to take the artillery. He did lose the 2 planes. That's not his choice. And then he'll lose 3 of his 5 infantry. So he only has 2 infantry left. And I lost that fighter. Okay, so I have the 6. I don't even know if I rolled my jet. If I didn't roll, here I'll roll. I don't think I rolled my jet. I'm going to roll just to see if I did. If I already did, this will be my second round jet. But I think this is a first round jet. Yes, okay, good. Let's roll the 6 fighters, or 7 fighters. 2, 4, 5, 6. Need one more blue. 7. These are my fighters. Okay, so I have plenty of hits. And he has 1 at 4 for his last shot with his infantry. Jesus Christ. Obscene luck. Okay, so I go up 1 for the Free French. And Vichy is no longer. And let's see, I take it with 1 infantry, 2 airborne, and 2 mountain. I actually thought I was going to have to take some. I thought I would eat into my planes or whatever, but obscenely very, very, very lucky. The whole turn was very lucky. Okay, let's go around here to what's going on with this fleet. Now, once Vichy France falls, once southern France falls, what happens is all Vichy French units that are still on the board in other places, like these units, all get replaced. So let's look at what happens. There's 1 battleship and 1 destroyer. There were 2 subs. And there was a torpedo boat destroyer and a transport. So that's what got replaced there. I said Vichy's gone, but maybe Vichy's still around because there's that. Maybe they still get a recruitment role. I don't know. This is the first time I've done this with Vichy. So, and of course, this idea is 100% Madman Dance. Absolute brilliant move to Madman Dan. Okay, so now I've got some non-combat movements. This medium bomber is going to fly to Astoria, Navarre, and the jet and 7 fighters, I think, will also fly to Astoria, Navarre. So I got a jet, a medium, and 7 French, or Free French fighters in Astoria, Navarre. Then I want to do some non-combat movement with these units. I'd like to strategic naval move this transport to C-Zone 33, from 49 to 33. I'm going to move this battleship destroyer and torpedo boat destroyer. Have a move of 3 because of Barcelona. They'll go 1, 2, 3 and join this fleet just in case the Italians get frisky. And then these subs that are in 49, they're going to move. Let's zoom this out so you can see the movement. They're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. They're also going to go to C-Zone 33. So all this stuff is in C-Zone 33. Let me double check that that is all my movement. I got the air transports going back to northern Algeria. I'm going to place 1 airborne that I built in northern Algeria. Free France collects 8 plus the 5 they saved, so they are at 13. It's interesting. So I have 13 with FEC, 13 with Anzac, and 13 with Free France. That was not planned. It's just all worked out that way. Okay, this is Global War 36 Enthusiast. Now turning this over to Panzer J and Italy 18.6. I apologize to everyone for that horrific job I did on Shensi. I really should have used the battle board next time. Lesson learned.